day right here, we are celebrating 19 years of marriage.
I thought you were only 19 years old.
When we got married.
Oh.
And I knew what I wanted in marriage and what we were going to do. And none of that happened. I'm just kidding. But actually most of that didn't happen.
So today is our anniversary and we are going to go over 19 things we've learned in the past 19 years. Hopefully we've learned more than 19 things, but these are some pretty good things we came up with.
Lesson number 1, which I feel is something that people say more than anything else, is date often. For me, it could be super cheap, it could be expensive, it could be whatever, but it's really taking time to have an us moment. So sometimes I'll say, let's have a date tonight and watch a movie and put the kids to bed early and we can just have alone time for us and doing something that we enjoy. I feel that dating is why you fell in love, and to keep that spark alive, you need to continue to date. So this advice, I hear it all the time, but it is real. It is real and you should do it, because whenever I feel like we've been arguing more or being like snippy at each other more, we haven't actually been dating.
Sometimes we go on a date to, I don't know, Mexico. Sometimes we go on a date to a Del Taco. Sometimes we go on a date, but it's a change of venue to slow your roll and let you look into each other's eyes for a moment and go, oh yeah, we really love each other. Number 2,
this kind of goes with number 1, but do new things together. To have experiences that strengthen your bond. So when you were dating or when you first got married, everything was new and you were having those memories together. You were creating these fresh new memories together, doing new things, just you two. If you get into like the monotony of life and the mundane 9-to-5 things, sometimes you forget to try new things and do different things and create new memories. And so you're kind of trying to remember the old ones. So do the new things, like going somewhere new that you haven't been before, or trying a new hobby, like, hey, let's go rock climbing. We've never done that.
Deal.
Or, right, like something, besides just doing like dinner and a movie for date night, maybe once in a while, once a month, once every 6 months.
Take a cooking class.
That's right. Do something totally new and create a new memory, because you're going to look back more on those new fresh things and go, oh my gosh, that was so awkward. Have the hard conversations, not during the hard moments. So this has been a little difficult for us over the years, but I read parenting books years and years ago that said, when you need to bring up something where you want a child to recognize a habit that they've done and you want to change it, you don't do it in the middle of the habit. In like the argument, so
stop sucking your thumb!
Right? So like if we have had an argument or we're discussing something and I'm upset because Jase has done this or that or whatever, not in the hard moment am I gonna be like, you should have done this, this, and this, because it just escalates the argument. And because you have heated feelings and emotions, it's not gonna be—
I get super defensive.
And it's not gonna be like a good, calm, like, oh, I see that I did that wrong. Okay, I will change. No, it's not gonna happen like that. It never happens like that. So you bring up some of the hard things. If it really is a hard thing that continues to be on your mind after the emotions have like settled down, then you can have a conversation when it's calm.
So it's like drunk texting.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. So like later on, we could have a conversation and say, okay, that one thing that you said actually did bother me. It hurt my feelings. I didn't feel like you loved me at that moment, or whatever. However hard it is, but you can say it in a calm way and you have a clear mind. It's easier to work through the hard things, because being humble enough for someone to tell you did something wrong and actually like wanting to change is not going to happen when you're all like fired up and want to beat somebody.
When somebody else is talking, listen. Don't just think about what you're going to say next.
Were you listening when I was saying the hard moments?
I was,
were you
actually.
waiting to say this?
Nope. I totally kept this out of my mind, and that's how I knew how intense it got at the end. It's really hard sometimes because I'm like, okay, here's what I'm going to— no, shut up, Jase. Just listen. And then Rach will finish talking, and she'll look at me, and then she'll be like, what? I'm like, just a second, I'm thinking it through. Because I'm thinking it through afterwards now, because I'm really trying not to think while she's talking, because I'm trying to internalize her point. Because obviously, if we are arguing, something is being misrepresented, misconstrued, misunderstood. And so I'm trying to think, is it me? Is it her? Where is it? Is it both of us? Typically, it's both. And truly listening, it will take me a second to respond. But if it's a heated argument, you say, just a second, let me think that one through. It calms things down a little bit.
Yeah, taking that deep breaths. And it's actually very, like that lesson alone is a life lesson. Like listening to the person talking to you, not just waiting for your turn to speak out and say your opinion. If you love someone, your children, your spouse, family members, friends, take the time to listen to what they're trying to say and understand them, honestly, because it's the Christ-like thing to do.
So the next one is, it's never the end of the world, even when you think it is. We have had friends who have gone through some of the darkest of the dark. We've gone through some pretty hairy stuff.
It's the dark, you know, like night comes, it just feels like it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And sometimes you forget there's gonna be a sunrise. You know, you forget there's going to be a new day, there's gonna be a new start. I think keeping that in mind during the hard times or the hard arguments.
Which is the hardest time.
It is. You know, knowing that we're going through something hard and maybe it's not between you two, maybe it's something that you're going through together. Maybe it's a health thing, maybe it's a financial thing, maybe it's a disaster thing. Whatever it is, this is when you can strengthen each other and build each other up and be like, we can do this.
Instead of alienating each other. We have quite a few friends who, through some incredible tragedies, ended up alienating each other, no longer communicating with each other because the way they dealt with tragedy was different.
Yeah.
One person truly wanted to mention the tragedy at every moment they could because they were afraid to forget about what had happened in that tragedy, and the other person just wanted to move on.
I find that when we have had super difficult times, there's always one of us, never both really, like in the deep dark, there's always one that's like, okay, we got this. I'm the strength. I can help us. You know, like they're a little bit stronger that day. And really,
it's never the same one.
Those are the times you need each other. And those are the times that you need to rely on each other. And that's what strengthens. I mean, we've had some horrible and hard years. And honestly, only after you get through the crap and the mud and you make it to the sunrise, do you look back and you go, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that we have each other. That's what makes it so good, is because when you go through those hard times, you realize how much love you have for each other, or how much even grace your spouse gives you when you're a butthead, or, you know, like how much you build each other up. So really, really, you need to, I think this isn't just one, this is kind of a bonus in there, is to rely on each other and rely on that person's strengths too.
The next one is have fun. Learn how to smile with each other. Learn how to have fun together. Learn what the other person truly has fun doing, and even if you don't, sacrifice a little bit to go and have that fun with them.
Number 7 is laugh. Laugh together. Having fun and laughing are two separate things in my mind, honestly, because which is kind of funny. Jason and I have this conversation all the time. We talk about our different motives, and Jace just lives to have fun. But for me, having fun could be like, I'm gonna
being productive,
organize this closet, and then I'm gonna watch a movie because that sounds really fun. You know, Jace is gonna be like, I'm gonna leave you here. I'm gonna go wrestle with the kids until somebody starts to cry, and then I'll come back at the time it's time to start the movie. That's right. So have fun for sure, and do what is fun for you. Wait though, when you came home from yoga, what was I doing? Jace was organizing my closet, guys. That's love. It wasn't fun for me. But I wanted to get it done more. He knew it would be fun when I saw it was done. But I ulterior motive a little bit, if I'm being honest, because I thought, you know what, if this is more clean, Rach can have more fun, and she'll be less stressed out if this closet is cleaner, so let me get this done while I have 15 minutes extra. Jace actually knows that when he starts things, I finish it, so. And so I love to start things for her. I start the laundry all the time. That's a conversation for a different day. I end up putting the laundry away too, though. I just don't do the middle part. Okay, but I'm saying laugh. Do something that makes you both laugh. I laugh at Jace's jokes all the time, or we like to watch some comedy shows or watch a hilarious movie, and we love to quote movies and laugh with each other, and that's like our little inside joke. Like, you should be having inside jokes that make you laugh. Let your partner decide What do I get to decide?
Many things, actually.
We actually have to have like hard conversations where like, no, it's actually your turn. You get to decide this one. I don't care.
But it's no fun if one person's always making the decisions. And so if there's something that you're like, you know what, it doesn't really matter, ask them and say, hey, would you rather go and do this or do this?
Or when
and
it
have them
does
decide.
matter, have the conversation and be like, I want to listen to what you would like to do. And then come together and decide on something, even when it's something really big and really like matters in your whole life, come together and
like
listen.
buying a car and bringing it home for that person without them having a choice.
So interesting.
Or buying a car for yourself and not letting them have it.
And not letting
Wait a
your
second,
wife
there's
know that you
or
bought
surprising
yourself
them
a car.
with a tiny home or surprise.
Okay.
Their
Their
so I need to let
surprises
her.
are different.
I need to let her decide more often. That's what I need to do.
That's what you do. You need to do
But
that.
if Rach could decide, she would just put all of our money into a bank account and let it sit there.
Kind of true. Have kids. Adopt. Have birth your own children. Hanai. Do you know what hanai means? Hanai means it's a Hawaiian word that means you basically kind of like adoption. You have been adopted into a family, but it's usually one that you already know.
It's
so
usually like an auntie or
so like
aunt
you would hanai your children to an auntie that lives on the islands or somewhere else for like a year, 2 years, or whatever.
or their life.
It's like yes, it could be for older or their life, but more so it is like a shorter time period.
I wrote that one down because I tried to look at what has given us the most growth
And the most joy.
New things, the most things we've had to decide on, the most things that have brought us into the light, the most things, all these things we're mentioning, our children truly are what have done that. And now it's not saying you have to birth your own kids. It's not saying you have to have them at this age. It's not saying you have to have this many kids. I'm just saying children bring you more joy than anything.
Absolutely. That is God's plan, let's be honest. So that we can have joy, really. Because we learn from our kids more than anything. We laugh when they laugh. We laugh at them. We laugh with them. We cry. We grow.
When you get more joy in serving others than anything else. And where else can you get more joy from when there's a new person either to this planet or a new person to your family?
Where you have to serve them every day.
And teaching them and training them and rearing them and worrying about them and helping them get over addictions and helping them get over trials and hardships.
Yes.
And that is one thing that I really didn't want to misrepresent this one, but I really wanted to say it because having kids and having a family it has brought more joy to me than anything else. I love you and you've brought me more joy than anything else, but doing this together is just incredible. The next one on the list is leave them.
Number 10, leave your kids.
This goes along with dating, but I think it's something that we've done since our children were young. We have always found trustworthy people and good people, but we've left our children and gone on vacations without them because I do not want our kids so attached to us that when they have to leave or go somewhere, they get sick because they're so homesick for us that they literally get sick. We have many friends where this is the case with their children.
What we wanted for our children was for them to have a deep bond, to love each other, to love us. We also wanted them to have their own family at one point, and so we want them to feel confident.
In their own life.
Yeah, we want them to feel confident leaving and trusting in God and themselves and going, okay, I can do this.
I mean, I had clients that I took to China with product. After 3 days, they were clawing their way back home. So 6 months is pretty amazing. But our kids weren't the kids in church when you go to class and we have what's called a primary or a nursery, and you leave the kids there that were clawing their way out of there and screaming until they puked. Whereas in other families, the kids would do that. And that's fine, because if that's the way they want to do their things and have their family be that way. But with us, leaving them, we used to just go down the street to the theater that was 500 steps. And we'd have a neighbor girl come and just watch a movie. We'd put the kids down and we would either skate or shuffle over to the theater just to watch a movie and get home. And our other friends were saying, oh man, it's been 3 years since we've left our kids on a date.
What that does to, one, go on a date, like be away from our children long enough so that we can have us time. because that, again, renews that like dating and that bond and like remembering why you fell in love. But also, we want our children to have the experiences to go out in the world and feel confident, because if you're always missing somewhere else, like, oh, I really miss Hawaii, or I really miss living over here, you're going to, because you're missing somewhere else, you're gonna miss what's happening right now. And you're going to miss the experiences. So as we launched a child into college, she doesn't miss it at all.
She doesn't even call home.
She texts us all the time.
Which I love.
She does call once in a while, but she's not missing home. There's no tears of like, I really wish I was at home, because she is enjoying the moment right there. She is learning the lesson she needs to know right then. So for us, if we go on vacation and we only think about our children, or only think about, oh, we should be back with them, oh my gosh, I can't believe we've left them, we're not gonna actually use the vacation for what we need it for, to renew ourselves.
And we have gone on trips where friends of ours have just been complaining the whole time about wishing they were home with their kids. They missed out on amazing stuff.
They don't get what the vacation is actually a vacation where you get to pull your mind away from work, pull your mind away from your everyday duties, and this really works as a renewal for yourself, for your body, for your mind, for your spirit, so that you can come back to your home life, your work, your job, whatever it is, and feel refreshed and ready to go. Like, literally, vacations are supposed to be retreats where you retreat from something and it builds you up so that you can come back. So why we say leave your kids, so that you can be better parents, so that you can be better spouses to each other. Finding balance is truly hard for everybody and everything, so you got to figure that out.
And we're always feeling like that. Well, are we leaving too often, or are we not leaving enough, or are we helicoptering, or are we leaving them out there too alone? You'll never know. You'll always feel that guilt. And so just do you, but these are just some tips we found along the way. Here's the next one.
Number 11.
Leave with your kids. Basically leave a lot.
You do need to step out of the intense zone of life, right? Your home, once in a while. Now, your home should be a haven, but you need to like step out and create those fun memories that you're gonna do as a family. Like, how awesome. We were super excited later at the end of last year, we got to go to Tahiti for our Christmas, our kids' Christmas. It's the biggest thing we've ever done for Christmas. So I am more on the scaredy cat side. So when we try things, I'm always super cautious and like, okay, we're gonna do this thing. So Jace planned these boat tours, and Evie, who is also my cautious child, she and I sat in the boat while Jase and the other kids got in the water and swam with sharks. That's right, people.
No cage.
Jase swam with sharks. Now, these are not giant sharks. They were like 5 feet long, which is still really big. He went and he swam, and I was like super nervous, like, I'm not gonna do it, I can't do it. And then we're sitting here in this boat, and it's been a little while, kids are having fun. Even Cora's out there like, Mom, I touched the shark, I touched it, like so excited. And their faces and the memories that they were creating right then were just so priceless. And I looked over at Evie, and she was like, had this like really tormented look on her face. And I was like, are you okay? And I was like, do you want to go out? Yeah. But she's like, but I'm scared. And she was so cute. And I said, I will do it if you do it. And we actually didn't, she actually got back out, and I sat on the edge, and I sat and I touched the ray, and I kind of got by the shark, but I didn't get as much in as everybody else.
Yes, you did.
But I did a couple days later.
Yeah.
So it took me a little bit, but we created these fun memories. Now, you don't have to be crazy like us and do the not extreme things,
just go to the park and throw a Frisbee. Honestly, when you leave the house
and have
or
something
your car,
fun and light planned,
or anything that's normal, your children will start asking questions. They'll start talking,
sharing
they'll start
stories,
responding.
And the personalities that they have outside of the home is very different
than inside the home.
And there's so many free and cheap things out there that you can do. We recently rediscovered geocaching, which our children are obsessed with, but it's a fun treasure hunt that is everywhere you go. Even taking 30 minutes to go and find a few. The kids are like, oh yeah, I remember that time that we found one in the pole over by the place.
We found Kylo Ren in a trash can.
It's crazy,
it's crazy.
Go and do something with your children. Number 12.
Rach and I just got married, and she walked into the bathroom of our little hotel place, and the bathroom was a big room.
And they had like a toilet room.
But the toilet had a door that closed. And she went in and closed the door, and she was kind of nervous and, didn't want to make those weird noises. And I went into the bathroom, I opened the door, and I sat on the countertop to have a conversation with her. And we still do this all the time, vice versa and verse versa. But
it's a psychological thing.
Have a chat while you're on the toilet, I dare you.
It is really weird, but psychologically it strengthens your relationship, because as you are going to the bathroom, all animals do this. If you watch dogs go to the bathroom and you look at them, they look like they're ashamed.
Shame.
Right? And so a lot of animals do this, and humans do this as well. It is a very vulnerable position, right, as you're going to the bathroom. So what better way to have open yourselves up to seeing each other in a way where you can share everything with them, including going to the bathroom. And it's gotten to a point where I'm like, honey, I've got to tell you something. Hurry, hurry, hurry. I'm on the toilet. And
because that's the time kids can't interrupt either. Mom's in the bathroom. Oh, they go running out of the room. And then we have a moment to chat.
All right, number 13. Talk about sex. This is for the adult ears out there, and this is real. You should have conversations about your most intimate parts of your relationship, which is sex.
Whenever I've gone on fishing trips or hikes or, shooting or off-roading, it will almost always inevitably, if it's a bunch of guys, go to that, and not in a disrespectful way. Sometimes they try to take it that way, but I don't like going there. And they'll ask questions, and I will honor my wife by not going into too much detail with them, but they'll say, hey, have you guys ever done like do you guys do this?
Jase and I have an understanding that if we share with other people, we actually don't share too much, because we respect each other by knowing this isn't like a kiss and tell thing, right? We're not kissing and talking to our girlfriends or boyfriends or friends about, oh yeah, well he kisses like that. No, it's not like that. It's more to help in that concept of how to start the conversation with your spouse about sex. I think this kind of goes back to the toilet conversation as well, is sex is a very vulnerable thing, and it is meant to bond your relationship even more. It is an intimate thing that is truly, as spouses, something that you're supposed to do that can bring you closer together. Have tickle fights.
You hate tickle fights.
I hate tickle fights. I hate them.
She hates them.
But I am in the mood to be tickled probably once a month or once every 3 months. I'm unsure.
She puts it on the calendar.
No, I am just saying, the more you laugh, the more you have fun together and have those bonding relationships, or laugh after the fun time. Stop. We're not tickling right now.
Is this the time we can?
I say that because Jase loves to be tickled. So tickling each other is, again, a vulnerable thing where you can laugh, have fun, and just laugh about it, and then it's just something funny. I don't know why.
No, it lightens things up, and there's sometimes where you really do need to lighten it up.
It's true. So keep your mind open on ways that you can lighten up life, like having fun and doing fun things, but have a tickle fight.
Well, that gives us what number 15 is, which is do things your partner enjoys even if you don't love it. So Rach doesn't like tickle fights, but lately she's been instigating them. Just randomly, she'll just all of a sudden start tickling me. I'm like, oh, it's on, now it's on. She's like, no, she runs away. So she's making an effort to do things that I enjoy. She tried to go mountain biking with me a little while ago because she knows I enjoy it.
I'm still trying.
Right?
I want to do more of the mountain biking.
We keep trying things each other that the other one likes because we're trying to find other ways that we can bond, new things that we can do.
Long ago was very good, and he tried making costumes with me, and he knows that I love Halloween. He makes our Halloween costumes with us. So try new things every chance that you get, even if you may not enjoy it as much. But again, that's that new thing that you can do that your spouse might enjoy, and it will just bond you together. And
then don't go to bed angry. That is number 16.
Which might have been better placed when it was in our argument phases, but I had some really old ladies tell me this when we were, had a bridal shower, and everyone put advice down, and I remembered the 2 pieces of advice was date often and don't go to bed angry. Mr. Bennett does not believe in this, he will just go to bed.
I've gone to bed angry a couple times. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna sleep it off. I'll be fine in the morning.
Which is very true.
We were really good at not doing this until we got into business together. And when we weren't in business together, we never really had anything that got in the way that was enough that I would go to bed angry. And once we got into business together,
working together, whew.
We do it and we have a blast. But it doesn't go without disagreements, and especially our personality types are very different, and our personality types are very strong.
Don't go to bed angry if you can help it. You know, if you can work out something, if you can kind of say something just nice and kind so that right before you go to bed, it kind of settles things down, that really, really helps. We like to do this thing where like, I'll touch his foot with my foot in bed on our different sides of bed.
That honestly breaks the ice. Like the iceberg is gone.
Number 17 is kiss just to kiss.
Some guys, this will be hard for you. But making out just to make out. Just kiss with a teeny bit extra just to do it. We kiss, not like make out kiss, but we kiss in front of our children all the time. And that's something my parents taught me.
Let's be honest. I don't mean like a peck. No. Everyone does the peck. That's like the I don't care kiss. We want a real kiss because you love them so much, you want to express that in that emotion, because right then you're feeling that love so strong, you just have to kiss them. That's what you're building right now, is you're adding to the bank that builds up your love bank, and which intensifies your relationship.
I'd like to make a withdrawal from the love bank.
All right, that goes to number 18 as well.
I made you laugh.
Which this is express your love to each other. And I added the word often, and Jase added the word publicly. Whether you express your love to each other in a note, or you say it out loud, or you put it in an Instagram post if you need to do that.
Or just put your dang hand in her back pocket for a minute. Just, it's so lame, but honestly, even just that much, because it shows publicly to the other person that you love and care about them enough that you're willing to touch them instead of walking 3 steps ahead of them or behind them or not next to them at all. It shows them that you're showing to others how much you love or care or trust or respect or find hot this individual that you're married to.
And if you're doing
or in a relationship
a number
with,
of these
and not married
things,
to,
you're going to cover the love language, you know? Whether you're touching their back or their arm, or whether you come up and give them a hug, or you kiss them with real intent there, or you write them a love letter, or you write them a note, or you say them, you know, whisper in their ear as you walk by, like, you look really good in those pants. Honestly, expressing your love is what should happen daily. 19 years coming to a close of this podcast, which is
give gifts. Now, it doesn't have to be huge or elaborate, but I dare anybody listening to this right now, go and grab a single rose or a Matchbox car of this person's favorite Matchbox, or of their favorite like vintage car or Lamborghini or who knows what. It doesn't matter. Just bring that home and just say, hey, I was thinking about you today. I saw this and it reminded me of you, and just hand it to them like it's not a huge deal.
But it's very true. Gifts do not have to be expensive. Gifts do not have to be, you know, like this huge elaborate thing. And they can be, but they don't have to be. Honestly, some of my favorite gifts that Jase has given me are a little poem that he wrote on an anniversary, or a note that he has put down. Or,
basically, she likes me writing stuff.
I do.
This helps. No,
it can be something simple that you can write down, just a little love note. It can be something nice, like Jay said, like picking up a favorite toy, or a favorite candy bar of
a little
somebody.
thing of Ferrero Rocher on the way.
You know, it can be something very simple. All of these are expressions of your love for your marriage. And if you want a strong marriage, I think there needs to be daily acts, and I legitimately believe that, daily acts of your expression of love. Thanks for hanging out with us and watching us podcast. This is a little different. We haven't done this before. We wanted to share our tips for marriage advice of 19 years. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you missed something, make sure you go over to...
Legit comment down below though.
Yes.
Because this channel has comments. Our other channels don't.
Yes.
And so we love conversing and chatting back and forth and hearing your ideas.
Go over to theohanavineyard.com because we're going to have a blog post with all of these details so you can see them all. Honestly, it's been fun. This is our first podcast that we have recorded here for you on the Now Mom. We really enjoy sharing with these fun things with you guys.
And if you like it, let us know, and we'll record more of these while we're recording, because we've done 20 some odd of these podcasts and never turned a camera on.
Listen to the upcoming podcast. If you've missed some from last season, you'll want to go and check them out because we have some really fun ones that we covered. So we'll see you guys. Bye. Peace.